The true story of the three little pigs. Everybody knows the story of the three little pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on one little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. See up here where it says sneeze plus sugar. This is the real story. I'm wondering if that wolf is really going to be telling the real story. We'll have to wait and see. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold. I ran out of sugar. Notice how here at the beginning of this it said once upon a time. We notice that a lot in fairy tales, don't we? So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now, this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house of straw? Uh-oh, there's the house of straw. Do you see it? So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into somebody else's house, so I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. When I huffed and I snuffed. Oh no. Uh-oh. Look at him. And I sneezed a great sneeze. Oh no. Look, there's Pig. There went the house. Do you think that's the true story? And you know what? That whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw. So I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. You're not going to forget it, right, and leave it there? Oh, brother. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar. So I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house of sticks. There's his house. Guess what he did? I rang the bell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I think the pig's there, don't you? Mm-hmm. I called, Mr. Pig! Mr. Pig, are you in? He yelled back, Go away, wolf! You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin. I wonder what's going to happen. Oh, no. I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed, and I puffed, and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great big sneeze. And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was the second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. Oh boy, I don't know if I'm buying this story. Are you guys? Now you know food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. I bet he's getting really full. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better. And I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old Granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family. He had built his house out of, guess what? Bricks. I knocked on the brick house. No answer. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? And do you know what that rude little porker answered? Get out of here, Wolf. Don't bother me again. That was, talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't even give me one little cup for my dear sweet old Granny's birthday cake. What a pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed, and I snuffed, and I sneezed once again. Then the third little pig yelled, and your old Granny can sit on a pin. Oh, that wasn't very nice, was it? Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my Granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course I was trying to break down this pig's door. And the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. The rest, as they say, is history. Sorry, boys and girls. The news reporters found out about the 2 pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed at the story with all that huff and puff and blow your house down. And they made me the big bad wolf. That's it. The real story. I was framed. And there he is in the paper, the big bad wolf. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar. Boys and girls, do you think that the wolf is telling the truth? Do you think that's the real story of the 3 little pigs? Boys and girls, we just read a fairy tale. You have been learning about fairy tales in class, and I want you to think about what makes a book a fairy tale. Your job is to record a video telling me about this story. I want to know what makes this a fairy tale. If you choose not to record it, you can also, or instead, email me 2 to 3 sentences explaining what makes this a fairy tale. So again, I expect either a video telling me why this is a fairy tale, or 2 to 3 sentences in an email explaining why it's a fairy tale. I can't wait to see your answers. Hope you're enjoying your day.